Staying with Afghanistan, girls in the country have been given a ray of hope. The Taliban have said that girls and women in Afghanistan will be allowed to return to school as soon as possible. So far, the world has been helplessly watching the systematic exclusion of women from public spaces after the departure of Western powers. This comes after the latest order from the Education Ministry asked male teachers and students to return to secondary school but made no mention of the country's women educators and girls. At a press conference in Kabul, the Taliban spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid said that they were still finalizing things and that a safe learning environment needed to be established beforehand.
We are trying to strengthen the cabinet further, and God willing, women will be appointed to certain positions in the necessary sections. And one day, we will announce their names here. And in the case of schools, the Ministry of Education is working hard to lay the groundwork for the education of high school girls as soon as possible. Work is underway on the procedure, and it is hoped that this will be done, God willing.
The Taliban also announced the remaining members of the Afghanistan all-male government, but no reference to the now defunct Women's Affairs Ministry was made, and unsurprisingly, no female ministers were announced. While the new government has not issued a formal policy outright banning women from working, directives by individual officials have amounted to their exclusion from the workplace. Although still marginalized, Afghan women have fought for and gained basic rights in the past 20 years. Many are now lawmakers, judges, pilots and police officers. Though this development has mostly been limited to large cities, under the ousted US-backed government, hundreds of thousands of women entered the workforce, with many becoming their family's sole breadwinners after becoming widowed or when their husbands were maimed during decades of conflict. The Taliban now face the colossal task of ruling Afghanistan. Many government employees have not been paid for months amid rising food prices. The Taliban assured that they have the funds but need time to get the process working. Afghanistan has always been an aid-dependent country where the economic troubles have only deepened since the Taliban seized power when outside funding was frozen. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.